which is ridiculously swollen. But I'm sitting at home. I don't have to wear pants. Come on. I just have to wear those
Come
socks.
on now.
Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, Danny Dimes does it again. Clemson loses again, and Ben Johnson wins for the first time. But we begin today with the most dramatic ending yesterday in a day of dramatic endings where 5 different games ended on the last play with no time left on the clock. But the Eagles' blocked field goal in return for a touchdown against the Rams was simply insane. Down 27-26, the Rams were lined up for the winning field goal. And Eagles big man Jordan Davis blocked the kick, then scooped up the ball and carried it and his 336 pounds, 61 yards for a 33-26 victory in Philadelphia. Wilbon, what does this dramatic result say about each team?
You know, it just says the same thing in relation to both teams. The Eagles, as I said last week when I replaced the Packers with the Eagles atop the Wilbon Power ratings, the Eagles are the best team. They're the best team in the league. Any discussion of dethroning anybody and winning the Super Bowl, being the best team, being number 1 ranked, it runs through Philadelphia. It runs through the Eagles because they can beat you any way you need to be beaten. They can beat you down running the ball and playing defense. God knows Jalen Hurts, if he needs to, he didn't yesterday, but if he needed to, he can throw it and lead the Eagles that way. Special teams can get them a win. They're champions, Tony.
That's right.
And they're big and bad and bold. They're well coached.
Yep.
They believe in what they're doing, and everybody else is second right now. The Rams, they come close twice. They're not ready yet. They're not.
So that was the craziest ending of the day. And I want to deal with people who bet on the Rams because their heads exploded at that moment. The Rams were getting 3.5 points. So, Mike, when they line up for the field goal, they're down 1. Even if the field goal doesn't go, they're still going to cover because they're only down 1. In this case, they go down 7. They don't cover, and they watch as a 336-pound man goes to the other side of the field. That is horrific if you are gambling on the Rams, because the Rams at one point, I think, were up 26-7, something like that. So the entire game, you're counting your money. You're sure you're going to win in this thing. This is not, Scotty Van Pelt refers to a bad beat. This is not a bad beat. This is the worst beat. And now I will agree with you completely on the Eagles. They're a terrific team, and they have been for a while. You know, they're down by like 20 points, and they come back at you, and they win the game. They blocked 2 kicks. I've never seen so many blocks in a day. Who does it? Who blocks 2 kicks? I mean, they stood up, and they were really, really good when they had to be really, really good. And for the first time in 2 years, Mike, we're not talking about the Eagles in the context of the tush push. We're now talking about the Eagles' hearts, not their tushes.
Best team. Tony, you know, we just signed an extension. I didn't know you were angling for an ESPN bet job. When are you going to do that? You and Joe Fortenbaugh? You and Joe Fortenbaugh, you're going to nudge me out? I'm just saying. I don't understand anything you said.
I don't want it. I know the number. I know the number. I know it was when I was plus 3.5, and I know all of a sudden the last play with 0-0-0, it's 7, and you lose.
I'm glad you know all that stuff. I paid no attention. So we're going to set aside now the Eagles and the Bills, who won Thursday, and discuss the NFL's other unbeatens. The 49ers top the Cardinals, the Bucs edge the Jets, the Chargers scraped by the Broncos, and the Colts and Daniel Indiana Jones. I hate that nickname, but I really do like it. I'm starting to grow on me.
I like it.
Dominated the Titans. So which one stands out to you?
Okay, so the perverse side of me wants to start with the Colts because they are 3-0. They got no business being 3-0. Nobody thought they were going to be 3-0. At quarterback, they have Daniel Jones, who you will remember the Giants got rid of. The Giants, who are now 0-3, and if you watched last night, they have no quarterback and they can't score any touchdowns. So Jones has been terrific. The Colts have been terrific. They've scored 103 points in 3 games. None of Peyton Manning's teams at the Colts started the season with 103 points in 3 games, and they've only punted once all year. But that's the perverse side of me. I think, in all fairness, you have to start with the Chargers. The Chargers did to the Broncos what the Eagles did to the Rams. They came back late. They were down 17-10 in the third. They were down 20-13 with about 3 minutes to go in the fourth, something like that. And you know, Justin Herbert, he's really good, right? I mean, he really delivers the ball.
I'm going to make the case.
To that late touchdown pass, then got him in position for the winning field goal. They're a formidable team, Mike.
Tony, it's definitely the Chargers for me. And I mean, everybody else did fine work. By the way, how did the Giants feel about no Saquon Barkley and no Daniel Jones? Who the two of them are 6-0, and then the Giants still looking to win the game. It's the Chargers, okay? Because the Chargers have Harbaugh and Herbert. I said this last week. I'm repeating myself just like I did with the Eagles. Listen, you can make the case, and I'm never going. I'm going to set Patrick Mahomes aside because he too just does whatever he has to do, including recovering a fumble on the ground to help his team win a game. So I'm going to set Patrick Mahomes and his Super Bowl rings aside. If you ask me who I'm going to take right now, the answer is Justin Herbert, man. And I will get to my man Caleb in the future, you know, a couple of years from now. I mean, want him. Herbert's in that place. What is he in his 5th or 6th season? He's got a coach who is perfect for him, who pumps him up and makes him feel great. And he's got all the requisite skills and the arm you need. And now he's got a team. And Jim Harbaugh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Jim, not John. Jim Harbaugh's not going to let them take a nap. He's not going to do that, Tony. The Chargers, and they've beaten 3 division opponents.
Yeah, they've gone through that schedule very well. And I don't want to give short shrift to the 49ers or the Tampa Bay. The 49ers, they're pretty much running on fumes. Bosa just went out. He's out for the rest of the season. They're on a second-string quarterback. They don't have any offense. They average less than 20 points a game. Their entire total, 3-0. They are plus 10. And if you think that's low, Tampa Bay's plus 6. That's all they are. Tampa Bay has won their first 3 games in the last minute of the game. The first team ever in the NFL to open 3 wins last minute. Because Baker Mayfield is a stud this year and has been for a couple of years. Let's move. Let's move to your division, Mike, the NFC North. Let's look at the 3 results from yesterday. The Packers lost to the Browns in the last second. The Vikings, without J.J. McCarthy, destroyed Cincinnati 48-10. And your Bears got on the board, beating Dallas handily 31-14. So I will ask you, fearing your hometown answer, which was the biggest result of these 3?
Well, the biggest result was probably the Packers going down in Cleveland to a great defense, but a team that can't score. Jordan Love throwing that stupid interception late. That warmed my heart. Nearly as much as watching Caleb Williams go for 4 touchdowns and no picks, and the first time he's played a game in the NFL without being sacked. That's pretty big news, too. Now, do I believe the Bears are going to automatically go on some roll based on that first game? No. Because our defense isn't any good. The Bears defense is nearly as bad as Dallas's defense, which stinks.